listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Hi guys, welcome to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give unsolicited advice to people in the news, and we basically hang out and talk ish about things in our lives. How are you, my queen?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. I am surviving.
Oh.
The move, we're at 85-90% done.
Yeah, which
The
is
last
actually,
10%.
I would say, so impressive.
Thank you. The last 10% may as well be 1,000%, because it feels the absolute hardest to do. And I do have a bit of a bone to pick with my kidlins who are listening.
Yeah.
So the last room that I was kind of responsible for, I have like one other area that I'm kind of responsible for part of the garage, but the last room that I was responsible for was the kids' shared room in Stephen's place. When I tell you last night, I was horrified by the state of their room. Now, I sort of shut the door to their room and treat it as like a time capsule between when they come out or not. So they haven't been out
so
since...
wait, you mean in the old house?
In the old house.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, the new one looks great.
Oh, no, the new one's amazing. They've got new bedding.
So
the whole thing
old
is...
house.
The old house, we went there yesterday.
We're still cleaning it up, yeah.
To kind of pull everything out. And
there's like Uncrustables under the bed.
I wish it wasn't Uncrustable, because that would have been delicious. The things that I found in the drawers, at the bottom of the closet, in random boxes, underneath the bed. I was nervous to cut a mattress open for what could have been inside that.
Oh dear.
It was so bad that I documented it and sent pictures of it to my kids.
Yeah.
It said, I am beyond disappointed and almost equally disgusted by how children live. And I was like, so what we did was we pulled all the trash out and we bagged everything else up and put it in their closet for them to sort out and clean when they get here.
Oh.
And then I sent a picture of that to them. So this will be waiting for you when you get here. Now, after the fact, later that night, Stephen and I were laying on the couch and we were like, do we stick with that or not? And that is the hardest part about parenting, is sticking with like hard discipline things that are appropriate. Because honestly, like if I were growing up and my parents came in, my parents like would bring a garbage bag into the bedroom and be like, anything not in place gets thrown away. If you said your bedroom was clean, perfect, stay here. Yeah. And I will inspect it. And anything that's not clean or and then you panically run. Like that's just part of growing up. I don't always have that.
Certainly part of growing up as a millennial.
Yeah.
Is like there was a lot of like, if you don't clean, or like if your room wasn't spotless, then you got a text while you were at school berating you for your room.
I'm generationally traumating my kids. Yeah. Just because it is crazy to me how dirty kids can live.
But like the thing is though, and this is what like frustrated me about it at the time. I remember once I was in Arizona visiting my siblings and I didn't do a chore that I was supposed to do before I got back. And mind you, I was probably like 19 at this time, like still living at my parents' house. And I got a text, like a rage text from my mom. And I said, like, what would you like me to do about that in this moment?
Oh, you have cojones.
But I was...
If I ever get a rage text, even today, I would be like the pit.
Frustrated because it was like, I'm literally in Arizona. Like, I understand you're taking out your frustration. I don't know what your day was like, but like, what would you like me to do about that in this moment? I'm very sorry I didn't get it done, but like, I'm a state away. What would you like me to do?
That goes to show like the fundamental difference a little bit in some of our personalities.
Oh no, I've taken so many rage texts from my parents.
Like, because I don't get a ton. I can't remember the last one I got, but if I get one, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I guess that's like I'm a little bit older than you, so maybe my millennial trauma is a little bit more potent. You're kind of coming out of it. You're like the new wave of parents. Oh, new wave of generation. Because I texted the kids. The kids are like, "Don't worry, Dad. We'll take care of it when we get back. Handshake, it's a deal." And I was like, handshake, it's a deal. I'm not...
Handshake emoji?
Yes, it was the handshake emoji. It was like, deal, handshake emoji. And I was like, why are we apologizing in emoji like that? I don't feel like you should be allowed to apologize in an emoji.
I feel like there
if you do
is
the prayer
certainly
hands,
a limit of like, I'm really disappointed in you. That was like crazy that your room looked that way. And like the text that we would get from our parents, which is just like, how is anybody gonna love you if you can't clean like this? And
Or-
how dare I raise such a
things-
sloth? And you're like, okay.
No. It's how dare I rage such a sleuth. I mean sleuth. Damn it. Why does this phone not like, you know what I mean, Stephanie Joyce? That's our parents texting.
And here's the thing. I learned how to clean. Like, it's fine. We're all gonna be fine. They're going to learn how to clean. That is
Molly
just a
and
skill
my mom
that
are
has to
similar.
come. Oh yeah.
In that like they're very clean. Their houses are like pristine. And I love my house looking that way, but I don't like, my mom came and visited yesterday and she was super nice. She
like,
came and brought stuff over. No, I was nervous for that. And so I said to her, just keep in mind, like, it's not done leading up to it. She's like, baby, it's not a home inspection. I'm coming to help you do your other bathroom because she brought all the stuff to make it look gorgeous. And I was like, oh, okay. And inside I just kept being like, she said it's not home inspection. It's okay. Just don't let her into that one closet and keep that door shut. So I get that. But that was the dialogue I had. I just don't feel like you can apologize in emoji, and you can't be like, good morning, sun emoji. So sorry about that, frowny face emoji. We could do better. Thumbs up. Like, if you're ending an apology sentence with emojis, that's...
I'm gonna start
That's
doing
like
that
a
to
level
you.
of unbothered.
It's a little condescending too.
It's
It's not as condescending coming from your kids, but if I did it and I was like, no worries, thumbs up, okay.
Moving forward, I will totally do that. It's a deal. Handshake emoji. I'd be like,
I actually love the handshake emoji.
no,
I really do.
For an apology or just for daily use?
I just love it to be like me handshake emoji and something else.
Yeah, what I like is I do the fist bump a lot.
Oh, good one.
So it's just like, yeah, I'll be there soon. Fist bump.
I'll be like me handshake emoji laughing at my own jokes. Like me shaking hands with laughing at my own jokes.
Yes. Wait, how are you? How was your Memorial Day?
It was really good. Traven came home from a long trip up to Washington.
Yes, we heard.
I had the weekend alone.
Whoa. What did we
I
do
had
to
Thursday,
hang out?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday alone. He came home Sunday afternoon.
What did we do how did we pass the time?
I content reviewed. I cleaned my whole house, and I was like, wow.
Called Molly. Hey, if you want to do a random stop by this weekend, it'd be amazing.
She was out of town, unfortunately.
Dang it.
She came over and ironed my drapes for me. I did talk about that. No, I listened. I think I read 3 books this weekend, watched the new season of Bridgerton, caught up on all my content. It even like got to the point where I was like,
did you put Bridgerton
what
on
do
your...
I watch?
Did you put Bridgerton on your content review? Because me too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And then last night, Traven and I went to Stevie Nicks.
Give us the highlights.
Here's the thing. You watch Taylor Swift, you watch Beyonce, you're like pop star, entertainer, blah, blah, blah. When you're watching Stevie Nicks, you're like, what a freaking rock star.
Really?
Like, she is up there. She must have told like a 10-minute story between a couple of songs. You should be like, and then Mick Fleetwood got out of his Cadillac and he stood there like this. And like, she just like seems like, I left the concert and found an autobiography of her immediately. Like, I was like, she just was cool. And she still sounded so great. She turned 76 on Sunday.
I hope when I am 76,
Somebody
I'm
kills
still
me.
doing...
Like, I don't want to be that old.
No, it's not even that old anymore. I feel
No,
like
it's not at
76, we're just allowing older to feel younger. But I hope that I'm still doing something that I absolutely love doing when I'm that old. How lucky for her.
I was thinking, I was like, I know that there has been a lot of work that has gone into this. She told a story about how poor she was when they moved to LA and her parents like stopped financially supporting her. And she was just like, I was working 3 jobs as a maid, as a cleaner, as a waitress, like doing all of these jobs when Mick Fleetwood reached out to start Fleetwood Mac. And Lindsay, who was her boyfriend at the time and was the guitar player, I believe.
That's such a hard name.
Yeah, it's
for
really
a
bad.
guy.
Was like, I don't want to be a blues guitarist. She's like, I don't want to be a cleaner. So you're going to love being a blues guitarist. And she's like saying this on stage. I'm like, oops, someone still hates Lindsay.
Yeah.
But
Lindsay's not getting a Christmas card.
She's telling these amazing stories. And again, she's bringing out like the original shawls that she wore. She's like, this one is the original Belladonna shawl. It's never been mended, blah, blah, blah. Takes it off and then just chucks it. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, that's going to be hanging in a Hard Rock Cafe one day.
Yeah, totally.
And you just yeeted it. Then
Hard Rock Cafe is actually a great place to eat.
Food quality, not great.
No, but
entertainment
the vibe,
wise,
like
good.
cool factor for a themed
She
restaurant.
closed the show with Landslide.
Yeah, I was just going to assume that.
Oh, I just sat
Are
there
you
and
well?
cried.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
No.
You wanted Landslide at your wedding.
I did. I danced with my dad to
Oh,
Landslide.
right. But I mean, that was like a huge, because you were seeing if Steven could perform Landslide. And then when we did a music night, you mean Steven one time, he and I started singing Landslide, and you wanted to sing with it, and Stephanie couldn't finish because
I just started crying.
Just
like,
crying.
I could think about that song and I could start to cry right now. Like my eyes are getting watery.
I can see.
I
Oh my gosh.
love
Don't. You're getting
that
really close.
song.
We can't edit this because you have a 9:30 meeting.
I know.
So we can't
I
splice
love that
for.
song so much. Also, she grew up in Utah, so like even in the song,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, only for a couple of years, but she met like one of her very best friends here.
Cool.
Who was at the show. And like the snow-covered mountains, like at the end of the show, she's like, I love these snow-covered mountains, like referencing that part of the song. I just like filmed it on Traven's phone and then just sat there like weeping because it just is such a special
Let's
song
post
to me.
that because
I'll
I
post
would
that
love
video.
There's
like a 2-minute one.
You didn't post
one.
anything on Instagram, your socials about the concert.
No, it's just like nobody wants to see your concert footage.
I do.
I'll just send it to you directly. I just send
I have a
it to people.
concert, whatever it's called, where you can save them.
Yeah, the highlights.
I have a concert highlight, and
Here's
I love
the
just
thing,
going
though.
through.
We were in the Pura suite, and so it's like, do you want to see my like grainy concert footage from like
super far
pretty
away.
far away? Like being in a suite is a really cool
Yeah, I was
experience.
just gonna say, did they have food for you and everything there?
No, so we only do food for the jazz games. We don't do them for the concerts or like other events at the arena. And so,
Are you getting Olivia Rodrigo tickets?
no.
Dang it! I kind of
know.
want to see the show.
I'm actually so sad about it. And it's mainly because that's when we are going to Disney World. So I won't even be here for it.
Wait, can I go?
If you can convince Gabby to take you.
Wait, Gabby, she still listens, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, Gabs. One, we should meet, and two,
She's going to probably bring her friend Candace. I'm so sorry to break it to you.
Gab. Here's the thing about
Maybe
Candace.
you could convince Megan to bring you. No, Candace is actually really cool.
No, everybody knows Candace asked Gabby to let me shine.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is what happened.
Oh, okay.
You need to pick a team.
Sorry.
And you're podcasting with that.
I just I want to set you up with good expectations.
Yeah.
I actually, though.
Gabby, take me to Olivia Rodrigo, please.
When we were
we'll have so much fun.
driving
I'll buy dinner.
to Stevie Nicks, I was like, I'm actually so sad I'm going to miss that concert.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But my Memorial Day was less concerty, more. I had to work in the morning, so
Yeah.
I did. I
was like, oh, let's record tomorrow. It's nice. And
He's like, let's record. We have the day off, and it's like, not me. I have a mediation.
you really need to plan your holidays better.
Yeah, I just am trying to like front load as much work since the kids are coming that I
and
don't. I want to
house
have
poor?
and house. Oh my gosh, house.
Don't
poor.
even talk to me about
Oof.
that.
Last night we finished being at the old house, and I'm getting a little bit in a sour mood just because I was super disappointed in how gross the bedroom was. And so Steven's like, okay, what do you want to do like when you get home? And I was like, I need to go return that stuff to Target, and I'm just gonna get an ice cream there. He was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to go on a walk, and then I'll meet you back here. And there's nothing that was more like representative of our dynamic where he's like, I'm just going to go walk around the lake. And I'm like, I'm going to Target and getting ice cream. And it was just like, oh, okay, great. So he came back. That was the extent of it. But I do have content review from Memorial Day. So I'm going to start my 3 GBs.
Yes, please.
The first one is we watched Kung Fu Panda 4.
How was it?
Oh my gosh. I really like the Kung Fu Panda series.
I love Kung Fu Panda.
And so I love Jack Black. Kung Fu Panda 4 was fire. Like,
really?
I thought the story,
it got such bad reviews.
Not from me. They
Not
didn't
from
ask
you.
me. They should have checked Chase's tomatoes because I think
what was
it
your
was
state of mind when you were watching it?
exhausted and a little slap happy.
Okay,
I would
great.
say.
Okay.
So it didn't pull me into a good
we could
mood.
do it as a kids movie night.
Yeah, for sure. I've also been watching. So that's a good for sure.
Okay.
I've been watching. Oh, we also watched Godzilla versus Kong, the new one, the New Empire or New Age or something. I'm not including that in my 3, but meh. Okay. Except I said to Steven, can you imagine if the Pioneers watched this TV like if they like came into a movie theater of all things?
It'd be like when Jurassic Park came out. They'd be like, oh.
It's so interesting to see the evolution of like CGI and how insane.
Oh yeah.
Like none of that movie was real. All of it was just fake. Anyway, my second 3GB is the new season of Kardashians.
Okay.
And this is why it's a good for me.
Okay.
Steven is watching. And so I'm not only...
Without years of context, he's
watching?
watching? Okay.
100%.
Wow.
And
okay.
with very little interest in... like understanding the backstory. No. With a lot of interest in understanding the backstory, very little interest in just letting it wash over him.
Yeah.
It's so we're watching it and he's kind of like, wait, which one is that?
Why are they
oh,
acting
and he
that
just
way?
keeps saying, oh, what did they do to their faces? Oh gosh, she just could have been so pretty, but I see what she's going for, but it's just so sad. Like the commentary is the absolute
It's
best.
like would be showing it to like an
A
80-year-old
grandfather.
woman.
That is my partner is a grandpa.
that's
and
funny.
so anyway, it's pretty good, but one of the stories we almost pulled, but we didn't. And so Courtney has her baby shower, baby shower, and Chris makes it like Disneyland themed, Baby Barker.
It was very cute.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, did you watch? Or you just saw
No.
pictures? Okay. Because I don't want to have to recap. Anyway, so Courtney calls the morning of and she tests positive for COVID. And so Chris is like, oh, well, Courtney, it starts in like 40 minutes. Why don't you come down now, just mask, stay outside, but that way you can see all the work and all the planning.
Yeah.
So she goes and then they're like, well, I guess we could kind of just like stay and we'll just be like quarantined off. So they shot it as though like they were totally quarantined and people are like talking at them from a distance, like, hello, whatever.
Yeah.
Cut to then the article that we see are all these pictures from the actual baby shower. Courtney's around everybody. She's in the midst. Now, I'm not talking about what people need to do or COVID or contagious or whatever. But even if it was just a cold, even if it was just like you got normally sick.
I feel like that's so representative though of the Kardashian show that it's like so edited to favor them.
Yes. I just feel like I would have loved for it to have been like, no, we're going to just stay safe. Totally. And then like, because then like it slowly like cuts to like a montage of all the times where like she's dipping something in her like a spoon in her mouth and then puts it back in, like she double dips. Like I want that footage because I know that that's real.
Yeah.
So I don't really have advice, but that's a really good watch. Kardashians or a show like Summer House or something with someone who's never seen it, and just allow them to have commentary.
See, I actually like almost can't do that because I'm just like they'll be like, who's friends? And I'm like, hey, what do you mean who's friends? Because technically there's only 2 people on this set who are actually friends.
And technically they're all coworkers and they're coworker friends at best, but that one's mom
but like
also,
these 3 are actually friends. And I'm like, you don't understand the history of it.
Yeah, no, I get that. But if you can suspend that annoyance
can't.
for a little bit and watch just one show with someone,
Know
it's fun to
thyself.
watch it. Steven just kept saying too when Kendall came on, it's a real beauty. It's like, okay, Steven.
I have to tell you, Steven, it ain't. She's gotten work done for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Hers just looks a lot better than
Hers
everyone else's.
Very subtle.
So, and then this is our overlap 3GB.
Yeah, I'll start with this.
Bridgerton. Such
Season
a bad
3.
for me. It is so alarming. Here's my thing. First off, I'm not going to get into the politics of the actors.
Literally
We can be on two different sides of this. This is my problem.
I'm horrified.
Penelope is not likable to me. She was seasons 1 and 2, not likable at all. The Queen, after seeing Queen Charlotte, is the only person I care about now on the show.
I haven't even watched Queen Charlotte yet.
Oh, honey. First off, you suspend what you're watching now. Suspend. Well, Bridgerton, you did the 4 episodes.
It's on my list. It's just like I know that I'm going to.
It's one of the best Shonda Rhimes. Period.
Okay, keep going.
Here's my other thing too. I hated that they played up the sort of spinster. Penelope's never going to get married. She's too thick. She doesn't fit the mold. She is the only thick girl in that cast.
Yeah.
Like, look, you pan when they're even just
not
everyone
even
else is
remotely.
twig.
Yeah.
And then she's like an average sized woman.
Yeah.
But they treat her like
What's crazy is she probably is actually like a size 10.
That's what I say. Or like smaller.
Like
like we see some of the red carpet stuff and I'm like, wow, beautiful look. It just seems to me
No,
like
she's like
they did
barely mid-size.
Yeah,
She
did
has like a very
Daphne,
large chest.
season 1, they did her right.
Yeah.
They styled her right. They gave her a good storyline.
Yep.
Then when spoiler alert, when we find out Penelope is Lady Whistledown,
Yeah.
we're like, oh my gosh, like this girl, this makes sense. Like she's kind of the wallflower,
Yeah.
but she's everybody's friend. Then season 2, they kind of go left a little bit, but the looks, I forget the Viscountess's name, but she's stunning.
So good, yeah.
And then her sister's stunning, and Penelope still is like so likable. You know, she has the falling out with her friend, but then I just feel like in this one, Homeboy. Okay, so I have issues with how they portrayed Penelope. I don't like how they styled her. I think that they treated her like we're trying to dress a whale. And they didn't do the same thing for the other women. Like the other women got good looks. Well, I'll send you a BuzzFeed article that compared.
Yeah.
That I'm drawing a lot of like, yes, you are voicing my frustration with this show. Then the storyline with Colin. First off, Colin has had a lot of work done.
Really?
Look at pictures of him, season 1, season 2, and the amount of face work he's had done for season 3. And because of that, he doesn't really emote. He's not as nearly as expressive because I think he's had so much work done. You look it up. I'm going to find this thing for you. It will take me too long to find.
I feel like we were primed for this season in a completely different way. Because I feel like I was seeing all of their interviews together and they have such intense chemistry.
And I haven't seen any of that, so maybe I would feel differently. But
that's what I'm feeling right now, because I'm like, I feel like I was primed so differently than you were when viewing this, because like everything that I saw was interviews of them together, and their even just like off-screen chemistry to me was like so visible, like loud, like it was so obvious to me that like when I was watching it, I was just like eating it up because I had already seen all of these interviews and press from them where they're like looking into each other's eyes like they're in love.
And I think I didn't watch any interviews, so I was just purely going, and I didn't read any articles. But then as I was watching Bridgerton and I was saying to Steven, we both were kind of like, we are like not feeling this season.
Oh my gosh.
And so and I don't like how they've done it, half season and then
I had a bone to
season.
pick with that.
I don't stay consistent. I don't know what model you're trying to get it so that you get your subscribers for June and July or May and whatever. So I think that's why they're doing it, so that you keep your subscribe. I don't know why else would they not. They invented binge watching.
That makes sense.
So to have one be 1 month and one be another month, so that you can ensure the bi-monthly or the 2-month subscription. I don't know.
Ooh, that.
But it's just.
It's not like that's Shonda Rhimes' fault.
No,
It's not
at all.
Bridgerton's fault. It's just.
But I just think
it's annoying.
she invented binging.
But then like release the show on the 31st and carry it into June.
Yeah, I don't know
like
what
release it on Memorial Day and carry it into June.
I just don't understand why they had to do it. 4 episodes, it's not enough. Maybe at the end, maybe the second half will fully resolve it. And that's Steven and I had said maybe that's why season 1 felt so good, is because if it got cut off halfway through, we would have been like, what in the actual? Yeah. This is stupid. Maybe the same with season 2. Yeah. So because it could be fully resolved, but I wanted more, particularly for how long it took for season 3 to come out.
Yeah.
Because Queen Charlotte was in between seasons 2 and season 3.
Yeah.
So that's my
I
maybe
feel like
hot
those
take.
are fair criticisms. I think that they have amazing chemistry.
Yeah, and for the record, I think Nicola is stunning.
I
think she
her
is
acting
really beautiful act. I
is
agreed.
phenomenal.
But they just did not write super likable because
also,
they had her
skin. Like, if you have white translucent skin, hers is the one to have.
Yeah.
It is porcelain, beautiful. Like, I'm like, you know what? I actually saw a take that she should do a remake of the Bridget Jones Diary. And I was like, what a great take.
Oh yeah.
No, she is so
Instead,
funny,
isn't there
so
like a
interesting.
fourth Bridget Jones Diary that they're
I don't
recording,
know.
that they're filming right now? I thought I remember
No idea.
reading that somewhere.
No, I thought there's just something about Bridgerton that, like, the costumes, the music, like when they switch to like a very fast paced, like, I think the cinematography is interesting. I think it's like that they've gotten so much more interesting, even just like with the hair, like the different elements. Queen Charlotte's wigs, even the girl that is like kind of a villain.
Yeah.
Like, her hair is so interesting in the show. Like, they're just doing something. Cressida, yep.
Yeah.
They're doing something that, like, I don't feel like there's a show besides like Game of Thrones that is so like world building and like immersive as Bridgerton is right now.
Interesting.
And that's why I just, like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, and then I get done, I'm like, I need to read a period piece. I need to read historical fiction.
I don't
like,
love period pieces generally. Like, that's not really scratching an itch for me. So maybe I mean, I've never been like a huge fan. But I think it's a good. Oh, the other thing that kind of drove me nuts about Colin too, when he has that 3-way. And we're all just supposed to act like, oh, this is a guy that's worthy of someone as pure as Penelope in a way. Like, so I think that's why they're trying to make
a lot with the guys on the show, though. Like,
which would make sense.
Historically, the guys on the show have all been like, but like, to me, that the 3-way kind of felt like just like raunchy for raunchy's sake, and I'm like, why waste your screen time, of like this type of content on
go back
this
and watch
versus
watch that clip again and watch his face. This is that was when I noticed there was almost no emotion. Like, he's just not
got
emoting.
a lot of Botox.
Yes, baby. I promise you. You got to look and see. I'm going to send you this article that I'm lifting some of my thoughts from because it unearthed them. Wait, the other thing we have to talk about too, and then we have to get your other two GVs, is I finished A Court of Thorn of Roses.
Oh my gosh.
When we tell each other that we were texting all week because Steph just wanted me to be giving updates. No, and then she gave me like
I would literally give anything to reread that series again.
And I am about halfway through the second book now. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, part of the reason why I just wanted to go to Target was because I just wanted to finish my book.
Yep.
And then I just had headphones on as I was hanging some art.
I love to go into Target with the headphones on.
Oh, Target, headphones on, amazing book. Drink
a Starbucks drink.
They know how to
curate.
Iced chai? They know how to curate a experience there. Although I had the meanest Target. Actually, this is a good thing to bring up. If you work at the South Jordan Target, and you were working customer service last night around 9, what the heck is wrong with you? This is what happened. Okay, I bring in an IKEA bag full of, when you're buying a house and you're also going through your old house, you find a lot of Target stuff that you haven't opened, or clothing for my kids that I had extra. That's why I had all these extra things that were like, oh, you never opened that. I'm going to return it. I'm going to try to return it.
Yeah.
And then we had things that like we would buy
strict about their returns.
So then we had things that like had like lamps or things that we're trying out. And so I had this IKEA bag. So I walk up and I'm very charming.
Yes.
Generally very charming, but particularly with customer service people, because I'm like, you are dealing with grumpos all day. I will not be a grumpo. So it's like, hey, how are you? Happy Memorial Day. And I'm like, oh, sucks you got stuck working today, huh? And he's like, do you need a return or are you doing something else? Like, did not acknowledge me. And I said, oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to do a return. Do you have the receipts? I said, yeah, I have the receipts for most of the stuff. I was like, all the big ticket items. I was like, and then I have a couple of like random things that I could look for the receipts in my phone, but I think I'll just do store credit. And he was like, let's do the first one. So I pull out the lamp and I give him the receipt, and he's like, this second one. So I kind of like feeling uncomfortable. So I do it. And then at the very end, I just have a pair of tank tops, 2 Kids of Charlotte's shorts, and like a random pair of something.
Yeah.
And so I said, I can't find the receipt on these. Can we look it up with the credit card? And I said, if it's on my American Express, we'll be good. But if it's on my Apple card, because the digital card is a different number than the physical card, I said, it never pulls up right. He goes, we'll put it in and we'll see. And I was like, oh, okay. So I put it in, and then he's like, nope, it's not showing up on there. So I said, can I just do store credit then? And they were Goodfellow brands, which means they're an exclusive Target brand. Like, this isn't like I was bringing a Hanes in from Walmart and I'm getting it for more.
Are tags still on?
All the tags are still on.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all in plastic wrap.
Yeah.
Like from having ordered it online. Yeah. So like they were all sealed too. It wasn't like I just had like I'd washed my car with this. And I was like, oh, well, let's try to return it. Like, it's not Nordstrom. So I'm like, I don't. Can I just do store credit? And he was like, it's $100 limit a year. Have you reached that? And I was like, I haven't. And I said to him, are you okay? Or are you just in a bad mood? Because you know me, I'm nothing if not direct, baby.
Nothing if not confrontational.
And so he's like, I'm fine. I was like, so this is just your mood? He's like, yep. So then he scans it, puts on a gift card, and he said, oh, I also have an order pickup. And so he's like, I'll need to see that barcode then. I said, yep, no, I understand how this works. So I give him the barcode, and then he comes back, and I had 2 large picture frames as well. And he was like, I'm going to have to go and get the big picture frames now. And I said, oh, okay, I'll just wait here. He's like, I don't care. And I was so bothered, but I knew that I was going to be listening to the second book of a court of...
You're like, great.
What's the second one? Fury and...
A Court of Mist and Fury.
Mist and Fury. That's the second book. The blue one. That's what I'm on.
No, the green one.
The greenish. Green. Like, it's like a mint or something.
It's green.
Is it dark green? Wait, am I reading it out of order? What if I'm reading it out of order?
No, you're not.
No, that.
Yeah, green.
It's like mint.
That is not a mint color.
Wait. Yes, this is mint. Wait, I'm looking at mint color. You know when you feel
mint
like...
Mint makes me think of like mint chocolate ice cream.
Mint color.
No, I don't think it's minty.
Honey, this literally says mint more color. Teal. And that is so close.
That is not close.
Hang on, I'm going to...
Take a screenshot and post that.
Because I have to get rid of all these other things. Okay, got it.
That is not close. Okay, let me go into my other 3 GBs.
Yes.
I read a book called The Jasad Heir. Somebody recommended it to me after I finished Fourth Wing. While I think that it was okay, I'm going to give it like a good bad. I listened to it on Audible and I thought the book was interesting, but I just am going to do like a buyer's warning. You should read it, not listen to it, because it's like a lot of Egyptian themes. A lot of the names sounded extremely similar.
Oh.
And so I spent most of the book being
a little confused.
So confused. I was like, it was like the names would be like Seraph and like Sarida or something like that. And I'm like, what? Like they were so similar. I could not keep things straight. By the end, I was like, oh, that was good. I think I gave it 3 stars because I was just like, but honestly, it felt like a me thing, not a book thing.
Right. Or the vehicle to the book. Because if it had been not Audible, then you could have kept track of the names better.
But also, like, I don't know, it could have used some editing. So I think I was justified in my take. But also, like, if you want to read it.
Like a very good book. Oh. Like, it's been a while. I would say on a Court of what's the whole series called?
ACOTAR is like what people say the whole series
because
is.
That's a Court of
Thorn
of Roses.
The first book.
The first book.
But the whole series, people refer to as ACOTAR.
I was saying to Steven, I think it's the new Harry Potter.
Yeah.
To have created a separate world, to have created something else that's like, I don't remember the last time I've been this hooked. Like, can we wrap this podcast up so I can listen to it?
No. Chase sent me a text that said, I love Resend, and I sent back a message or a gift that was like, one of us.
I wrote her actually in book 1.
Yep.
And she's like, who are you liking? And I said, I actually think this is a bad take. I was like, but I kind of like Rysand. I was like, I don't know. There's something about him that I really like. And she was like, oh, okay. That's like, you did a good job at not spoiling where the book was heading. Spoil it. But I was like, yeah, you've done a good job. I've asked a couple of other questions. And then I'm like, do not tell me, but this is where I think things are heading.
Here's the thing. Somebody did text me after the podcast last week. Jessica, my friend's older sister, she texted me and was like, you don't actually like tampon, do you? She calls him tampon for Tamlin. And I was like, no, Jessica, I had to play the part.
Yeah.
It's a canon event.
Agreed.
It is like anybody who reads the first book.
We're only halfway through book 2, so that's the extent of the conversation we can have on it. Because low-key, most of the time, if someone ruins something for me, I'm like, oh, it's fine. I don't have as much anxiety. I'll just enjoy it.
No, this is one where I'm like,
if you ruin it, I will take a ash arrow through your effing chest, and I do not care if your heart is made of stone. It will crush it.
Like, welcome to Sarah J. Maas. Her books, or like the universes in her books, are
phenomenal.
So good. When you finish ACOTAR, you need to start throwing a glass.
Yeah, you told me.
Also, you might want like some buffer books. You might want to read some like silly thrillers to like rinse yourself of the world.
Yeah, because the only thing that I keep having a little bit of hard time is because I have not quite finished Fourth Wing. Because I've cheated on Fourth Wing for ACOTAR. Well, remember, because I took a break from Fourth Wing.
But you finished Fourth Wing. You're on Iron Flame.
No, I haven't finished Fourth Wing. I have like maybe 10% left. But here's my thing. I keep bringing it with me on the plane because to me, it's such like a plane vibe. I want to immerse myself.
You need a Kindle.
What?
You need a Kindle.
I need a Kindle because I never use my Kindle app on my iPad.
Oh, no, you need a Kindle.
Yeah, I want an actual Kindle. Do you have one?
Yes, I love mine.
Wait, send me a link to the one that you like.
I use the Oasis. I'll bring it next time we record.
Okay, so I can.
So you can feel it.
Okay. Aren't you able to be able to see them Kindles at Barnes and Noble, like physical ones? Don't they have them there?
I don't know.
I hope.
Because the one that I have has like a heavier weight on the side, and a button to click to turn the pages, versus the Paperwhite you hold it on the bottom, or you can hold it on the side, but then you like kind of cover the page.
Okay.
I really like the Oasis, but I don't think that's a popular take.
Okay.
I think most people like the Paperwhite.
I actually think I didn't see it at Barnes and Noble. I think I saw them at Target. I think I remember seeing Kindles at Target.
That's so weird because it's an Amazon product.
Yeah.
Odd. But I'll bring mine.
Okay, what's your third GB? Sorry, I've interrupted
my third
twice.
Is a rom-com that I read called You Again. Everybody said it gives...
The movie's based off that?
No.
Have you seen the movie You Again? With Jamie Lee Curtis and Kristen Bell, Betty White.
No, not that. Okay. Not that.
That's actually a good movie.
It is a rom-com that like centers around two people who like their lives connect over the course of like 8 years, and then they like eventually develop a friendship. So good, but really puts you through the ringer on that one. But the banter, like the wittiness, I finished it in a day because it was just like I was enthralled by their story and their connection. People said it gave When Harry Met Sally vibes, and I actually have never seen that movie.
I've seen it once so that I could say I've seen it, so I wasn't ever in this position.
I think I need to watch it because I loved this book so much, and that's what every review was giving, like, oh, it gives When Harry Met Sally, and even the author said like she tried to write banter like that movie. So I think I'm gonna watch When Harry Met Sally this week. You should.
Whenever my mom offers to go to Barnes and Noble and will call me, because she was like, hey, first time, months or years ago, she was like, hey, what do you want from Barnes or from Einstein Bagels, not Barnes and Noble, Einstein Bagels. And I have like a very particular order. So I gave it to her and she goes, oh my gosh, what in the When Harry Met Sally order is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? So then she started sending me the clip. And so now anytime that she goes there or goes to Dutch Bros, she says, what's your When Harry Met Sally order again? And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So it kind of stays alive that way.
You know what I forgot? Remember how I mentioned my mom's friend Shane, how he reviews? He sent us a list. He was like, did
I get it? Was it on social?
It's on Good Bad. I had opened them.
And also, I've really not been a good job on social because I've been
We're trying. We're literally doing the best we can. Okay, guys? We both have full-time jobs. So
one of us bought a house and moved, and I'm dealing with some family stuff. So
Yeah, both of us have had mental breakdowns in the last couple of weeks. We're doing our best, okay?
We're surviving.
We're doing it. Anyway, he sent his top 15
Albums of all year. All time.
albums of all time.
What was his top 5? Do you remember? Should I pull up the thing?
Oh, yeah. Pull up Good Bad Account. All I know is there was 2 Billy Joel albums, and I said, yes, Shane. Thank you so much.
Okay, Shane.
He actually did say, he's like, I'm sorry there's no Beyonce, but I do think Cowboy Carter is a phenomenal album, and I do think that it will give her Album of the Year. He said, thank you.
Okay, so he says, all right, 15, Tapestry by Carole King, Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, 13, Born in the USA, 12, Thriller, Michael Jackson. I asked Steven as well.
Top 15.
We did, we talked about this as well, and Steven said he thinks the number 1 album should have been Thriller. Michael Jackson, which is pretty good. Okay. Number 11, Close to You by the Carpenters. 10, I Am, Earth, Wind and Fire. 9, The Long Run by the Eagles. 8, Abbey Road, Beatles. Oh my gosh, Beagles. The Stranger, Billy Joel. 6, This Is Country Music, Brad Paisley.
The Stranger is the album that I meant on my top 10.
Okay.
I mentioned River of Dreams, but that's just because my Lullaby is on that one, so I always think of it.
So The Stranger is yours. This Is Country Music, Brad Paisley. Number 5, Morning Dance by Spyro Gyro.
Apparently.
Yeah. 4, Beautiful Noise, Neil Diamond. 3, Pipes of Peace, Paul McCartney. 2, The Nylon Curtain by Billy Joel. And the number 1 favorite album of all time for Shane is Heartbeat City by the Cars. Get it, Shane? We really would love to hear what we should do let me put this a note for a prompt. We should do
honestly, that's all of the music that I grew up on, so I was like, Shane, this is a perfect list. Also, I loved that Saturday Night Fever, the soundtrack.
Yeah, if you had to pick a soundtrack, one of mine would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Would be the soundtrack of the a movie soundtrack. Or Black Panther.
Footloose, the original.
Oh, yes. That's actually
I Need a Hero.
Banger.
Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Oh, that is a very good.
Let's Hear It for the Boy is literally.
Let's Hear It for the Boy.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
What's the other one? Oh, I Need a Hero. I need a hero.
I know the words to that song, but here we are. We love to work this.
I need a hero. The neighbors next door are like, what in the actual hell is happening in that room? It's like once a week there's craziness in the AM.
Yep.
The sun is barely coming up. We're like, oh. Actually, this morning when Stephanie pulled in, and then we have to get to our stories. When Stephanie pulled in this morning, I was fake sleeping in my car. So she rolled down her window and started playing a Megan Thee Stallion song pretty loud.
Freestyle.
We danced almost the entire song. I
almost
3
started
minutes.
filming it because I was like, this is how we prep for
everything. Just in our own cars with both of our windows down, totally dancing and
but not
trying to
paying
wake up.
attention to the other, just like
not paying attention. And dancing is a very loose term for what we were doing.
I know.
Our arms were moving in the car. Yeah, our cars were what the?
It was as if we were both holding shake weights. Is kind of what it looked like.
100%. All right, people we got to give advice to in the news. Very excited that Leslie Jones is back as the commentator for NBC Universal's coverage of the Paris Olympic Summer Games. This summer, we know that the Summer Games are in Paris, and Leslie Jones has done an incredible job. She started with the Rio Olympics, was her first one where she was just live tweeting. And then in Rio, where was 2020? 2020 was...
It was Beijing.
Was it? Anyways, and so now she'll be doing back here. Now, what
she's like an official, but it's like a fan comment.
Yeah, but that's honestly... That's what I want.
Yep, agreed.
I don't need.
Don't even give her the
Brian
sitting at the
Williams.
table.
I don't need I want the Hoda, Jenna, Leslie. I mean, the women in news right now are really crushing it. To be honest, I would even love a Drew Barrymore interview for just like a different flavor.
Not the right temp for me.
No, I
like
want
Kelly
on the-
Clarkson, I could do.
Oh, a Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson
Actually,
would be
women in
so
the
good.
media right now are really crushing.
Yeah, I can't think
Good
of
work.
any man I would need on my screen.
Well, not for Olympics.
that.
Yeah, ew. I love Leslie Jordan's Olympic coverage
She would be
because
a good one. Nikki Glaser.
She would be good, but I wonder if she would take it like, because you can't roast the Olympians, and that's like her
Yeah, but
forte.
she's just so funny off the cuff.
That's true.
That I think that she would be so good at it, in that she would just use it as like kind of like, let me talk about how bad I would be at this.
Yeah.
And
now,
how
what
funny
I
that would
want,
be.
my advice to people who are interviewing athletes, a couple things to just stay away from.
Yeah.
In my thing, how does it feel?
Yeah.
How you feeling? So
What's it like
because
being
here's the thing,
in
I
the
actually,
Olympics?
Instead
You've
of doing
worked so
that,
hard for this your entire life.
were you
What does it feel-
surprised?
Yeah.
Like when the interviewer doesn't have like any real understanding. So the thing that it's a turn off.
Yeah.
The thing that I love about Leslie Jones is that she's us.
Yep.
She's meant to be like,
She's
I
just a
was
hype
freaking out that
lady.
you were
Yeah.
almost gonna leave. Were you freaking out? Oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
that to me is authentic. But when it's just like a panned, like, you know, how did you prepare for today? Or I don't
know, about
know how you want me to-
12,000 hours
Yeah.
over the course of 20
So I want
years.
them to be that realistic.
Yeah.
And then I want the editors of the show to just put like hard hitting facts on my screen
Yeah.
so that I'm getting best of both worlds.
It's Summer Olympics, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah. My kids are going, which
We're
is actually
gonna
exciting.
see new synchronized swimming. I freaking love
You
synchronized
love,
swimming.
wait, what's your top
I-
3 Summer Olympic
Gymnast?
gymnastics, men's and women's?
Yes.
Because bodies for days and talent. And
Inequality.
Yeah.
Sure. We're interested in that. Although women's is superior.
it's infinitely.
Synchronized swimming.
Okay.
I
Fire.
would die on a synchronized swimming hill. How freaking hard it would be.
Wait, can we go swimming together and do a synchronized swimming routine?
Absolutely.
Wait, I'm low-key putting that on a bucket list for
Let's
summer.
find a private pool, Jory. Can we use your pool?
Yeah, Uncle Jory, can we go there? And then we
Uncle Jory,
debut it
Aunt
at the
Sandy, can we
Lifetime.
use your pool?
No, then we live it at the Lifetime. We debut it there. It's on
Just
the
the
diving
two of
board,
us.
just you and me.
And it will be the
Charlotte and
sound
Oliver are like
machine.
absolutely
They
diving, not destroy.
But it's with our legs.
We just did the same thing with our hands, trying to be the
They do
legs.
the spirally legs.
Yeah, fully.
And
then your third.
Diving. I love watching diving.
Okay, mine would be beach volleyball. I love beach volleyball. I don't know why. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. I just also think it's the tube team beach volleyball.
Yep. Intense.
Gymnastic. I'm gonna not say yours because
Okay.
yours I'm gonna give you. I love those as well.
Yeah.
I think the decathlon is super interesting to watch because
okay.
it's like it's week. I mean, it takes like multiple days, but those are the real Olympic athletes to me. The
Yeah.
fact that you're doing 10 events for points to be able to medal just as the aggregate. So we're doing like javelin,
I
shot
love
put.
the relay too.
Oh yes.
Where
the baton
Yeah.
gets passed. Did you see the one where there's a TikTok video? I'll try to find it where the baton gets dropped and that black girl
the girl gets
freaks
so
out.
mad. Yep.
And then I think my third will be, I'm not going to pick any of the team sports because I think it's basketball's always so unfair. The United States just crushes.
Yeah.
Soccer, it's not World Cup, so I don't really care. Also, it's like a weird thing, although Oliver will probably watch a ton of soccer.
Yeah.
And if I'm not doing diving, then I'm going to say...
Rhythmic gymnastics.
No, I'm putting all that into gymnastics.
Gymnastics,
Yeah,
yeah.
anything
It's all in
that's
one.
happening with the mat and beams, balls, and ribbons.
Flexibility.
Yeah. I'll say water polo, something different. So if water polo comes on, you guys can say, oh, Chase is probably watching this. Okay, so we're super excited about Leslie
Olympics,
Jordan
yeah.
being not Leslie Jordan, he's dead.
Leslie
Jones.
Oh,
Oh gosh, he
rip.
would have been Talk about a missed opportunity.
Talk about
a
rip.
real calling.
Honestly, he would
rip.
find that so funny.
He would find it so funny.
He would
Leslie,
think
if you're
it's
listening to
so
this from
funny.
beyond, just flicker a light at some point in the next 12 days for us, and we'll know that that's Leslie Jordan, like, laughing at our podcast.
He would think rip is so funny.
Okay. Next advice. So that's kind of our advice
Yeah.
to the Olympics. One,
I'm still fully on board with our idea. I know we talked about this a few months ago, but
average Olympics.
Not average Olympics. We talked about who should be commentators.
Oh.
And you mentioned drag queens.
Oh gosh, that was such a good. That's now that I think about
so
that.
good, like Bianca Del Rio.
Yes. Shangela,
Trixie Mattel.
Jinx, Bob the drag queen,
Monet Exchange.
Monet Exchange. I was gonna say that.
Being
Even
Olympic
like Raja,
commentators.
like if you were in the all, it should be the all winners. What was that
Jinx
season
Monsoon
7?
as an Olympic commentator in like full Olympic commentator like camp garb
Yeah, fully.
would be my everything.
Yeah, I love the idea of I don't think we're there pop culture yet, but
No, but
I would love
I would
an
love
actual
it. I
like
would love
something
it.
on World of Wonder, that app, of them providing commentary, which would be great. Katya and Trixie interviewing somebody
Yeah.
on the Olympics. It'd be great. Okay. The second kind of piece from the news that we want to give us some advice to is the house from Home Alone is up for sale.
Yes.
$5.25 million. It's a beautiful house in the suburbs of Chicago. It's just over 9,000 square feet. It was sold in 2012 for 1.85 million, and now it's being listed for 5.25 million because they have recently renovated it. But
It got the sad beige treatment.
yes, it did.
Actually, it's more like the sad gray. It's very gray.
yeah, it's very, very gray.
White and gray.
And it's gorgeous.
I mean,
but
it's pretty. It's not. the
Here's
Home
what I
Alone
would have
home,
loved
though.
is, here's my advice. If you're going to buy a historic piece of property like that, you need to treat it like the Goonies house in Washington, where they for a while, I actually don't, but they have like a visitors. You can like visit the house. Or there's like a visitor center there. Maybe it's not the house.
But this
Maybe
is
we get
like
that
very
wrong.
much in a neighborhood. Like this is like the suburban area of Chicago.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like it would be so hard to run a visitor center out of here when it's next to also $1 million homes.
Yes. Okay. Also,
It just
before I
is
forget,
very much like it doesn't feel like a home. It feels like a house.
yeah. But would you ever buy that?
No.
I wouldn't either, because I just
No.
don't want the attention. You got to
As
repaint
much
it.
as I
You
love
got to do
attention, like
not
having
in your
people-
house.
Having people drive by my house all the time
Would freak you
give me
out.
paranoia.
Yeah. Also, before I forget, Lauren Report came in.
Mm-hmm.
She doing After a Hot Minute, and she just turned. She had a big birthday over the weekend. So happy belated birthday to Lauren. She says, I was saying the guy Chris North from Good Wife, and it's Chris Noth.
Oh, okay.
I was saying it wrong. And then Lauren Hill, she pronounces her name like her. And then Lauren Hill is the last Black woman to win an Album of the Year at the Grammys in 1999
For the musication.
for the Miseducation of Lauren Hill. So good little report. Sorry, I just saw that because I realized I had said something wrong. I thought, oh man, she's going to correct that. Okay, so don't buy historical homes if you want privacy. That's what I say.
Also, add some comfort to your home.
Yeah, I, that's one thing that I'm learning. You know, I was really appreciative of my parents coming over and seeing the house. We're like 90% moved in. We have a couch coming, a little thing. But they were really, really complimentary of like, oh, it feels like warm and still masculine and well designed and like homey. And I just think now I know that they're trying to sell the house, so they put it very gray so that people can envision their own stuff there, blah, blah, blah. But still,
No,
warmth,
house has-
color, fun, not just boring neutrals,
yeah.
particularly cold ones. All right, we got to wrap this up soon because you have a meeting soon and we're getting close.
Yeah.
But Northwest wore her own Simba costume for the Lion King live show with furry slippers. Here's my advice. If you are a celebrity, I'm conflicted on the one hand because as a parent, I would do anything for my kids.
Yep.
And so I could see Kardashians and Kanye saying, North, what do you want to do? I want to be in a musical, and they said, we just won't do a normal musical. We'll put you in the Hollywood Bowl live action Lion King with like the legit Nathan Lane was in, like unbelievable talent. Hang on, but let me finish my thought, because my thought is, you got to be a little bit aware that if you are wielding a sort of power that your last name and your sort of social cachet gets you, she took a legit opportunity away from a much more deserving kid. That's what I was because she was a nightmare, and I don't want to like come at a kid. So I want to be clear that this isn't
show up for rehearsals.
I'm just saying there was nothing. She didn't know how to exit the stage. She didn't know exactly where she was going. It sort of felt like, I know that this is a great opportunity because I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's a kid. But as the parents, I would think you have got to ensure that she knocks it out the park, that she takes it seriously, that she knows everything. So that
really didn't feel like she took it seriously.
It did not feel that way. And that to me is really sad.
No, but like, it's funny because to me, I'm like, we do blame like a lot. Like there's been conversations about Nepo babies for the last like, I think year and a half. Always it has existed, but I think people have really called it out. This to me is like the epitome of what people get angry about with Nepo babies, is that like, there's a difference between being a Nepo baby and like just getting a job because you're a Nepo baby and like being talented.
Agreed.
And like working really
hard. The other thing that's so interesting that the article talked about was that North brought her own costume. So she wasn't wearing what the costume that the costume designer for the show was doing, that she did her own rehearsals. So I think I get exceptionalism in a Kardashian lens, because it's like, well, we're so different anyway. But if I'm getting my kid into Hollywood Bowl and we're going to do whatever, I would be like, you go to those same rehearsals, you're going to wear the costume. You're not going to bring your own costume. You're not going to have it be like, let me just show how much I'm either above or othered in this dynamic. I just want you to do the work to prove that it's not just your last name, but that you are talented as well. Yeah,
no, it really kind of surprised me, especially coming from a child of Kim. Like, I feel like, aren't you known for, feels like nobody wants to work these days.
Right. Get off your...
Wow. So it just felt like it really, because she seemed unrehearsed, she seemed like a little confused on the stage, and also the vocals, like they're very talented kids who I'm sure tried out for that, and I just was like, this just feels like a miss.
And I get that the show
when like the original voice actor for Scar is singing,
right? On the same stage, with Timon and Pumbaa.
Stage, like.
It also, I understand that if I'm the show and I'm looking at purely marketing and I'm not just doing it for the art, then of course they nailed the brief because we're talking about it, which we wouldn't have talked about it if it was
just as much footage of Timon and Pumbaa and the original voice actor for Scar singing than I did. You're saying it wasn't necessary.
They didn't need the social cachet. That's probably true. It rubs me wrong, and I'm trying to be clear that I'm not coming at North. I'm not trying to come at her as a kid. She doesn't know any better. Her frontal cortex isn't even developed. I'm not coming at her. But the parents should be much more aware, and the show should maintain the integrity of the show and say, if you want to be in it, you're going to wear our costumes. You're going to come to rehearsals. Yeah. If you didn't do, if our cast didn't do that, we wouldn't put them on stage. We're not going to be any different for you. I just want there to be that level of integrity and awareness.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my general advice. And I have kids that are exceptionally talented at certain things. I'm still trying to ensure that they are working hard.
No, one thing that my parents instilled in me, especially like being on team sports, being whatever, like I feel like my mom always said to me, like, somebody is always going to be more talented than you, but they cannot outwork you.
Yes.
Like I have that so much in my brain of like, if you're better than me, I can work harder than you.
Yeah, if you're naturally more gifted than me, I can put in more energy, more time.
Yeah, but if you're better than me is not the right way to put it. If you're like more naturally inclined, if you just have natural talent at whatever we're doing, I know that I can outwork you.
Yeah.
And that is like such a good thing to ingrain in your kids.
Agreed. I agreed. In the note of kind of things to ingrain in children, The Mexican government says that the arm of a 19th century mummy came off after mishandling by museum staff. So when we're talking about outworking someone, I also think that we should try to instill in like our kids, like, hey, do a good job at your job. You break it, you buy it. So this story is so insane. It turns out they were moving. There was an employee that was moving a mummy.
Yeah.
And the arm fell off of the mummy because it was not properly handled.
Here's the thing. I can picture this. Me and Chase moving a mummy. First of all, both of us be like,
and both of us be like, ooh, Stephanie.
Oh, I'm a mummy.
Help me, I'm inside, please.
And then just picture this like crunch. And both of us like.
The eyes widen.
And then we would just start laughing because we don't know how to handle uncomfortable situations. Like, you broke it.
And then it's like, no, you broke it. You pulled it. No, I pulled it.
But meanwhile, Chase had been like waving it around, being like, oh, I'm a mummy, I'm alive. And then you just hear.
And then what we were saying earlier is that then you hear, Chase and Stephanie, please come to my office. Be like, oh no, he knows. We get in there.
No.
Do you know what I brought you in for?
No. Mm-mm. No.
It was like that when we found it. Because
they actually
the janitor
amputated
did
the
it.
arm before they mummified him.
It's just so crazy. I think our advice is if you are handling pieces of history, please don't rip the arms off. I'm trying to be realistic here. Like, I'm not trying to say like preserve it and
have some patience.
Yeah. I just think like, also, dear museum staff, train your employees a little better. Like, I can't imagine they skipped
a gross accident.
Yeah,
I'm
sure they didn't skip the day that was, hey guys, please
mummy
don't
handling
break.
Training.
Yeah. And that poor guy is probably like, if he works in a museum, I'm hoping that he's like, this was just an intermediate job anyway. Yeah. Because if he was like, I just love history so much, I have a Cleopatra tattoo. Like, yeah. I'm in this game, and then he's like, I ruined like it would hurt way worse for him.
It's actually just the guy who thought Night of the Museum was a real like
and he was
possibility.
Like, that's what he's like, high five. And the arm just falls right off. He's like, dang it. He's like, hey, Jim, another good day at work. Shakes his hand and the hand comes off. What the heck?
Imagine it comes off though, and you're like, I'll see myself out.
Yeah, you're just like,
wave with the hand.
Just gonna put this here. It covers the mummy's mouth. Oh, it's like, where do you put it back? It scratches his butt. Oh, yeah, that feels nice. I've been waiting to do that for 700 years. Wait, or 1,000 years. I don't know when mummies were around. Okay.
I don't know when mummies were around.
When was that a thing? Like, I guess before Jesus? Because the mummy, hey, Lauren, let us know when mummies were... Like, what was the era of the mummy?
Pyramids, before or after Jesus?
Before. Wait, this is 19th century mummy.
I don't know. 19th century.
1800s and dug up starting in the 1860s. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, they were buried around 1800s. 1800s? We were mummifying people?
Sick.
Have you guys heard of a coffin? Ew.
Brother, ew.
Why did I think that mummies were like the time of Jesus? Oh, I know, because I'm thinking of Moses. I'm thinking of Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
Now I know how I got there.
That's why I just said.
Many nights we prayed.
Pyramids before or after Jesus?
Before. Had to have been before, because it's Moses was before Jesus. He's Old Testament.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Dear Emily Freeman, we're so sorry that we let you down.
Yeah, but were the pyramids
made? Listen to Don't Miss This.
Were they made already? Or were the aliens still making them?
No, good save, sweetie. But we got history wrong.
No. I
That's an
totally
excellent
will
cover.
own that one. I'm just like, were they actually fully? I'm not gonna say erect, but erect.
Yeah, were they erect?
Were the pyramids fully pointed? Or was there a plateau?
I don't know if they'd coned. You mean? Have they totally topped?
Have they created
the
peak?
Smallest pyramid? Get on top of the tallest, the biggest pyramid?
What about the Sphinx? Was that before or after Jesus?
The Sphinx is all of it has to be before Jesus, right?
I don't know. I thought the Sphinx was
Wait, but Genghis
later.
Khan would have been after Jesus.
Who the heck is that?
It's a show on FX. It's a TV show, babe. I'm assuming it's historical. They don't speak normal
I saw a
English. There's
video
no
the other
iPhones.
day. I'm just like, why on earth did they create the wall of China? Why would they have need? And somebody like does a Mulan screenshot in the back, and they're like zooming out of frame. They're like, this guy, Attila the Hun.
Oh, that's so funny.
Lauren has a lot of material today.
This is a lot. We really aren't going to look up anything anymore because I want you to have the joy of being able to say, like, these are idiots. These people really need help. Didn't you go to a private school, Chase? I did. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Not me. I went to public school. I did
Public
summer
or private,
workbooks.
we just dumb. It has nothing to do with our education.
here's
We
the
have
thing.
the dumbs, and it's early in the morning.
These are the things that you say out loud, but like you're like,
That
I
you hope
kind of
no one
don't want to
hears.
admit that I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing when a question comes up on Jeopardy, and it's like the 19th or 16th century Genghis Khan. That's how it is. Okay, good. Like you never quite check it because you never want your search history.
We were driving about a year ago, and I was like, we're driving like road trip, and I go, I don't know how irrigation works. And Traven was like,
irrigation works?
Yeah, like on farms. I was like, I don't know how irrigation works, and I've
They
been
just
too scared to
sprinklers,
ask.
honey.
But it's different than sprinklers. It's like it's like a drip system, allegedly.
Drip, drip, drip.
Exactly.
Drip, that's my problem is that when I start to learn something that's obviously a
Your
little
brain
over my
goes,
head.
no, why don't we just dance?
Yeah, my brain's like, this
Get
sounds a
up
lot like a
here.
song.
Let's
Oh,
dance.
Oh, let's go to Disneyland. And then all of a sudden, that is a funny part of Kung Fu Panda when he's like, inner peace.
Dinner,
Dinner,
please.
please. Dinner, please. Chicken, please. With the sesame soy glaze. Oh, dang it. That is me. Okay. Paris Hilton puts life jacket on son wrong. Now, here's the thing.
Parenting is hard.
Parenting is absolutely hard. Did she have it a little bit backwards? Of course. For the record, though, she's
It's one of the
holding on
life-
to the baby in her hands. She's not like, okay, whatever.
Also, this isn't like a life jacket like you wear on the boat in the summer.
No, it's like a
This
floating
is one of the
jacket.
arm floaties for toddlers.
Now, here's my other kind of rub. Not my rub, but here's my other kind of thought.
Yeah.
Could we all like just shut the hell up?
Relax.
This podcast is dedicated. No, this podcast has to be called Pyramids, before or after Jesus.
Wait, BC or AC?
No, AD.
BC or
BC
AD.
or ACDC.
We could probably just name it BC or AD.
No, I want it to be named Pyramids.
Question mark.
Question mark? Before or after Jesus. That's so funny. But Googling. Okay, well, Pyromaniac is not the name of the episode, but I can't spell pyramid.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So that's where I'm at. That's like we were watching the
people need to
challenge and they were like
relax.
so deprived in the.
It's like your parents will tell stories where they're like, oh, yeah, no, we all were in the back of the station wagon. There was no seats, no AC.
Pyramid.
If we needed air.
I just
Shut
couldn't.
the voice
I
text.
couldn't remember how to. I couldn't figure out how to spell it.
That's me every time I have to spell receipts. I'm like, no.
Okay.
Yeah, our parents survived. So, and like they didn't even have
He didn't even
seatbelts.
seatbelt us. Here's the thing. Oh, that's what I was
We
gonna
got
say. This
left in the
episode
car
is
in a hot
dedicated
car for
to.
hours.
Yeah, crack the window, please. We wish.
We would just like open the van door and
yeah,
just like air it
totally.
out.
Quick, she's coming back. Act like we've been trapped in here all the time. Here's the thing. This episode is dedicated to all the parents who are now having their kids home for the summer.
Oof.
We see you. We feel you. We hope that you are on a drive. You have your swig. You have your coffee. You
Finding
have your
an audiobook.
audiobook. Well, no, you have this. We're hoping it's
that's
listen to this.
fair.
But you're about to listen to your audiobook. You have a little symphony bar of chocolate and you're just going for a drive so you maintain your sanity. We see you. We are trying hard to combat the criticism of parenting.
Yeah.
Like all the flack
You know what
Paris
the
Hilton
good
was
thing
getting.
is though? If you're not getting criticized as a parent right now, you will be from your child when they're old enough to criticize you.
The criticism is coming. Let's not have friendly fire, as my dad's friend Heidi Swinton would say. Let's not shoot at each other as fellow parents. Let's lift each other up and be like, girl,
it's already
same.
hard enough.
Parenting is so hard.
Just like living is hard. Okay, let's like be nicer to people.
Generally, stay out of other people's business, and if you're going to assert yourself, insert a compliment.
Yep.
Be like, hey, a new way to do a life jacket. Love you, mama.
Don't be the Target customer service rep.
No.
Who looks like he has a fart in his mouth.
I love that the episode's going to be called Pyramids Before or After Jesus. I will think of that and laugh all the time.
Pyramids, ...
Because we
Before
both
or
were
after
like,
Jesus.
wait, is it? And then we're like having to trace back the history to a Disney movie. That like, also goes to show, hey, Disney movies, you actually are doing, you have a major impact. We have got, The Last Dragon, Raya the Last Dragon, that's not going to help me learn anything. But The Prince of Egypt.
Speak for yourself. I loved Raya the Last Dragon.
I loved it too. I'm just saying it's not helping me learn any history. The Prince of Egypt helped us figure out that pyramids predate Jesus. Thanks, Disney. Thanks, Prince of Egypt.
Didn't they take like 1,000 years to build? That's what I'm saying. I think
I
there
have
could
no
be some
idea,
overlap
sweetie.
with Jesus.
I'm going to send you a documentary. I'm going to get into pyramid talk, TikTok, and then I'll send you a couple of videos.
My phone, if you're listening. Pyramids. Who built the pyramids?
Google search
Jesus and pyramids.
Jesus, Cleopatra, Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honestly, you already Googled it on your phone, or you typed pyramids in your phone.
I had to say
so
pyramids. They're like, these idiots.
They're like,
it's going to be Pyramids for Dummies.
It.
Wait, Pyramids for Dummies. That should be a book. TM.
Good idea. I bet it already exists.
Anything else, my queen, before you have to go to work?
No, I feel like we've really covered it all.
We've really covered the gamut.
We really covered it.
Also, we're going to figure out scheduling for the summer, so we'll have an update for you guys next week. And the movie of the month got bumped because we both had mentee bees, and I was in the middle of a move. So we're going to just continue the movie of the month.
Hunt for the WilderPeople, I think is what it's called.
And so we're going to have that be for our June movie.
We'll review it in June.
Yes.
Neither of us have seen it.
Nope, neither of us have seen it. And then
Somebody
talked this
did message
weekend.
us and said that it was weird. So can't wait.
You wrote this weekend and said, hey, are we going to watch it this weekend to talk on the show? And I said, no, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
And you said, perfect, we'll move it to June because you are a goddess and my favorite. And
yeah, but you need to start thinking of your June movie.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to do 2 movies in June, which makes sense because you have a lot more time.
What's our other June?
Well, we're bumping May's to June.
Oh, I thought we were just reviewing it next week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll review it next week, and then I'll think of what the new movie will be for June.
Yeah.
I really want it to be Inside Out 2.
Done.
But I want to make people go to the theater to watch it.
Done.
Because that, I think, is the movie I'm most excited to come out. Because Inside Out 1 is in my top 5 movies of all time, period. For my birthday, when Inside Out came, all I asked for was my kids to be able to go to Inside Out with them. And that's what I did on my actual birthday, was to go see Inside Out 2, or Inside Out 1.
Let's chat after this.
Okay. We love you guys. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Share our content. Yeah. Be kind to us in the comment section. And then what should our emoji be? Your dad was super cute. Send us the emoji. Is there a pyramid emoji?
Is there like an Easter Island head?
I don't know. Let me find. Hang on.
I think there is. I think there's an Easter Island head.
My
dad always gets to the end and sends us the emoji. Just to say it again.
Oh, shoot. Wait, I can't
tell.
There
has to be a pyramid emoji.
I would hope so. There are no results for a pyramid
Okay, what
emoji.
about like
EGYPT? It will just have the flag. What about Jesus? Oh, no, for Jesus, we'll just do the cross.
Okay.
Or what do you want to do? What would be something else?
Handshake emoji.
Oh, yeah. Let's do the handshake emoji.
Do the Easter Island head handshake emoji and the cross.
Yeah, and you got to just do a deal, or you could just write deal. Kids, there's no code word for the episode this week. The code word is you're going to be cleaning your room when you get back. Love you.
I like that we gave super clear instructions. Everybody's going to really understand what we mean.
And then just remember, that's what it probably sounded like to them. That's what it sounded like in my head. Bye, you guys. We love you. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. They're all going to be like, what in the actual, who hurt them? We're still coming back from our mental breakdown.
We're still healing.
We're still doing the best we can.